put my mind at ease having a boy, so I did gravitate towards that a little bit. It's like bottomless pit, unquenchable thirst. I just think that I want this time around to have a more calm postpartum. I do have to track what I'm eating for a couple days for my midwife. She just wants to see, I guess because I'm vegan, how did we choose the age gap? Definitely changing the fitness, no high impact. Did you want to have a baby sister or did you want to have a baby brother?
A baby sister.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a little rapid fire Q&A. I have like 5, maybe 6 questions that I'm going to answer here. Just the most frequently asked questions that I've gotten since announcing my second pregnancy. I'm currently about 20 weeks pregnant, which I think is actually crazy because, again, I say this all the time, but like the cliches are so true. It just, you blink and everything happens. And I have a toddler now who is 3 years old, and it's weird because it's like I used to watch all of these moms who were like, oh, I'm having my baby or my second baby or my third baby, and I would be like, oh, that's so awesome, like I can't wait for that. And now I'm like, holy smokes, I am doing that, and I think it's so fun and I'm so grateful. So I'm having a little girl this time, which I still am like so excited for, and not that I can't believe it, but you get so used to having a boy that you're like, a girl, a little baby girl, who, what? Battery just died, but back in action here. A lot of the times people ask, was this baby planned? Was it an accident? Did we do, was this on purpose to have this baby? We kind of planned, I guess, yes. So yes, I'll just answer simply. Definitely planned this baby, definitely knew we wanted to have another baby. This was not an accident whatsoever. The next question is, how did we choose the age gap? So we didn't really choose the age gap. It just kind of happened this way, essentially because we were building this house. I just waited out, and I thought we either go for it and have a baby during this build, or we wait until we're settled in this house and then we have a baby. And I rationally, thank God, chose to wait. I do like the idea of a 3-4 year age gap. I think it's going to be a lot easier for me and easier for Icarus and easier for the baby and easier for Damon. I think a lot of parents do the 2 under 2 or the as close as possible route, and I understand the reasoning for that, but I think for us and who we are and the lifestyle that we live, the bigger age gap made more sense. And it made more sense for where we were at in our lives and what we were doing. We were building this house and it's a lot. We sort of chose the age gap, but the age gap sort of chose us. Okay, so the next question that I get a lot is, will I do everything the same this time around? Did I choose things to do differently? Will I do things differently postpartum with the baby or postpartum for myself? And I'm doing a few things differently, but keeping generally most things the same. So I will basically go over what I'm going to be doing differently. For the baby, I did a reel on Instagram and TikTok about the 3 things that I'm going to be doing differently with breastfeeding. Had an amazing breastfeeding journey. I will pop that in right here. All right guys, so I am currently 18 weeks pregnant with my second baby, and these are 3 things that I'm going to be doing differently this time around in my breastfeeding journey. I had a really great experience the first time around. I nursed my son until he was over 3 years old. I know, don't even go there. This time around, I just have 3 things that I know I'm going to be doing differently. The first thing is a bottle washer and sterilizer.
Okay, so this right here is the one item I messed up on not getting the first time around. The memories I have of hand washing and sterilizing my pump and bottle parts is actually daunting. It was my least favorite thing to do, and I honestly didn't even mind pumping. But then the idea of having to sit and clean every nook and cranny of those parts was the worst. It was like the moment I had a second to myself, I remembered, oh, I have 100 little parts to clean right now. I've only seen raving reviews of this bottle washer. It washes, sanitizes, and completely dries everything. You can even sterile store everything in there for up to 72 hours. To be able to take bottle and pump part washing and sterilizing off my list entirely is going to be a godsend.
All right, so the second thing that I'm going to be doing is introducing a pacifier and bottle a lot sooner. I waited 6 or 7 weeks. My son really did not like taking a bottle. He took it a little bit after like a year, and he did not take a pacifier. So of course I know this next baby could very well not like bottles and pacifiers as well, and I'm here for it. I did it. It was fine, but again, just to see if it makes it work out a little little bit better. And I will be using the right bottles. I was using some bottles that were really not preferred by breastfed babies because it's a totally different anatomy, breastfed versus bottle, but they do make specific breastfed baby bottles. So the bottles that I'll be using are the Gula-Cola bottles. I have done a lot of research, and Pigeon, Gula-Cola, and a few others I found, but I will be trying the Gula-Cola glass bottles. And then I'm gonna be doing the Ninny pacifier. Again, giving it a shot. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll have to try a different one. Maybe I'll give up like I did the last time. And maybe my next baby will also not like bottles or pacifiers. And the third thing that I'm going to be doing is keeping an eye on an oversupply and mastitis. So I got mastitis 3 times last time when I had my son, and then I had a few like clogs and stuff like that. And I am now realizing, after researching, again, I didn't really research too much, that I had a little bit of an oversupply, and this might have been because I pumped too much. I'm going to just keep an eye on that this time and really make sure that I'm doing all of the right things. Don't pump too much, and that I keep my supply kind of in tune, lots of massaging, different things. I really didn't do too much of that last time. I kind of just wung it and didn't realize I had an oversupply. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, nobody knows what is going to happen. All babies are different. Everyone is unique. We will see what this next breastfeeding journey looks like. But I'm hopeful that I'll have a little bit more experience and be able to do things and make things feel a little bit easier for myself this time around. And then otherwise, I'm going to be doing everything pretty much the same unless it needs to be changed for the baby specifically, if you know what I mean. Like, the baby might need something different that Icarus didn't need, but generally I'm using all the same stuff that I used for Icarus, even down to clothes. I don't really have any new clothes and don't plan on getting new clothes yet. I mean, she's a girl, so she'll need a few things, I guess. But yeah, everything I will keep pretty much the same. I'll let you guys know as I go along if anything big changes, but pretty much the same. Now for myself, I definitely want to take more recovery time. What I think is that because we lived out in Lancaster during my end of my pregnancy, and then 3, 4, 5 months into having Icarus, we stayed out there, and I was alone essentially. So I think I was bored a little bit and needed to occupy myself. So the way that I knew how to occupy myself was to go do, I just think that I want this time around to have a more calm postpartum. I want to give myself like a solid 2 months at least to just hang out, to be with my son and be with my daughter and be with myself, and I will have family closer. That's a huge, that is the biggest difference, is that I have my own house, because when I had Icarus, we lived in a tiny apartment out in the country. We then moved home for like a month or 2, then we moved into our bus, and then we moved back and built this house. And so we were just kind of transitional, living with my in-laws for a while. We were so transitional and just never really had our own space. We have a home now, and it's so close to all of our family. That's like a whole new world basically, because I was alone in this tiny little 1-bedroom apartment. I didn't know anybody. It was the dead of winter. I think it's just gonna be a lot different this time around. It's definitely gonna be a lot different. I'm also a second-time mom, so postpartum wise, in that aspect, I do wanna just slow down and really just be with my family and myself and just enjoy it a little bit more. I think I was new mom, afraid, alone type of thing. Nothing crazy. I mean, I was fine. I was very happy out there. It was very peaceful. It was the perfect spot for us in that moment, but it's gonna be different this time, and I'm really excited for that. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, and one other thing that we're gonna be doing, which you guys are probably gonna think I'm crazy, is we're taking a vacation. I'll give you like more details on that when we actually book it all and everything's all planned out, but we are going to be taking a vacation. It's going to be winter time after the baby is born, and we are gonna take advantage and just take a nice big vacation and enjoy that and have that to look forward to. We talked about it and we just thought, you know what, we have not gone on vacation because, again, we built this house. This was like our year of settling into this house, so we really did not travel anywhere. So I think we're ready to like get back into that. I honestly just didn't want to leave the house. Like, I had no desire to go on any big trips because I'm like, we just built this beautiful house. I just want to be here. And yeah, so I will give you more details about that. You can call me crazy or not, because it's not crazy, because it's gonna be so much fun. The next question that I get asked about is food and calories. So a lot of people ask me about my food, calories, and workouts. Like, do I keep things the same? You guys know I'm very active. I eat very healthy. I'm a plant-based vegan. I've been vegan and plant-based for 10, 11 years now, and I have been into intuitive fitness, intuitive eating, lifestyle for about 10 years. Essentially, I've kept everything the same. Calorie wise, still just eating intuitively. I imagine that I'm a little bit more hungry. Sometimes I haven't had any like extreme hunger. I have had the extreme hunger during breastfeeding, and it was like bottomless pit, unquenchable thirst at a certain period. And I think every mom goes through that when you're like regulating your supply. It's just your body's like, it takes so much to produce milk. I think that just ends up happening. But anyways, so calorie wise, I don't have a number on it, but I will say that I do have to track what I'm eating for a couple days for my midwife. She just wants to see, I guess because I'm vegan, I don't know. It was just in this pamphlet that I got. This place that I'm going to this time around is a lot more in-depth than where I was out when we lived out in the country. This is fine because it's fun to like talk more in depth about things, but just a lot more homework for me and a lot more talking and asking questions about things. Nothing crazy, and they are still chill. But anyway, so I have to go over like 2 or 3 days and keep like a food diary. So I'm interested to see that and kind of see, because again, I don't really track things anymore. So I'm interested to see where I'm at with that, and maybe I'll share a little bit more about that when I see it. But I would say I'm still in the 2,000 to 3,000 calorie mark. I don't think I ever eat under 2,000 calories in general. I've been eating the same for years and years and years, and this is just what I do. It works for me. Trying to limit anything or count anything, that's what gets me into trouble. So not really changing much there. Definitely changing the fitness. No high impact, which honestly I've been feeling absolutely amazing. I do love a high impact intense workout, but it's not good for your body, especially when you're pregnant. So pushing myself to lay off of that has been really great. I cycle, I walk, I do my little no high impact, you know, light lifting workouts and things like that. I like how I'm doing this as if this is what I do when I work out. I don't do this, but just keeping it simple. I do the same 20 to 30 minutes a day most days, and then I'm active with my son and day to day, just an active person. So keeping it all consistent. And then I am also doing very specific, super specific 10 to 15 minutes every single morning, but it's helping so much. Mobility stretches for my hips and pelvic floor, and then strength for my deep core and pelvic floor type of thing. Just simple, but very consistent, very specific movements that are helping keep my hips, because you guys know my last pregnancy, I had that terrible SI joint pain. So this is just keeping my hips really on point. You want your pelvic floor and your core to be at ease, but also strong, which is so confusing. So you have to do the stretches and the mobility, but you also want to keep it strong. It's just this whole thing. So trying to keep that balancing act so that I do not have any SI joint pain this pregnancy so far. Knock on wood, I have had none, but you never know. The last question I'm going to answer is, did you guys want a girl or a boy? So I could care less. I couldn't care about Icarus being a boy or girl, and I couldn't care about this baby being a boy or girl.
Hear this. A, B, C, D, E, F, moo.
What is that even? Did you want to have a baby sister or did you want to have a baby brother?
A baby sister.
So I didn't care at all. And Damon and Icarus seemed to want a girl. I think I liked the idea of having a boy, or maybe it put my mind at ease having a boy, so I did gravitate towards that a little bit. Not that I wanted a boy, but it was easier on my mind because I'm like, oh, I've had a boy, so I'll know what I'm doing. Having a girl, I'm kind of like, huh? But it's gonna be amazing. I wouldn't call it scared. It's not, I'm not saying I'm scared of having a girl. It's just that unknown, like, I don't know what it's like, is it that different? I don't know, whatever. I'm so excited that we're having a girl though. I have a feeling she's gonna have brown hair and brown eyes and be the girl that I thought Icarus was, because I thought Icarus was going to be a little girl with brown hair, brown eyes, and he was a boy with blonde hair and green eyes. So there's that. I'm really, really excited about this pregnancy, and I'm really excited just to have another baby and to grow my family, and it's so cool. I don't think I will ever get over how cool being pregnant and making a baby is. I'm so cheesy with that stuff, I think. Like, I think about it all the time. I love being pregnant. All right, let me not get too far off track here. Really excited. Hope you like this video. If you have any questions about this pregnancy or anything, just ask me. You can ask me down in the comments here. and I have not made a YouTube video in a while, so I feel so awkward, and I wish I did more of these, and I should, but life, who knows. Okay, I'll see you guys soon, hopefully.